Hi everybody, welcome back to another segment of Cooking with the Stars, brought to you by the Rio Grande Valley Diabetes Association and our friends at Happy Healthy Valley. And today we are at the beautiful home of retired Judge Leticia Hinojosa. And Judge Hinojosa has invited us and to share with us a perfect chicken salad recipe for the summer. It's very crunchy and it looks super delicious, a lot of fresh ingredients. And what I love about chicken salad is that it's very low carb and there's different ways to pair it, right? You can choose an avocado or you can, eat it with a bit of lettuce or vegetables or maybe with some celery sticks or even some low carb options. So without further ado, let me kick it off to Judge Hinojosa and tell us about this wonderful recipe.
Well, Ileana, first I'll tell you about the recipe in a minute, but I really am so grateful to be given this opportunity to be part of this wonderful project that you all do. I've watched it several times. I'm a big fan of cooking shows, and I think that this is really important. I think that the fact that so many people suffer from diabetes here in South Texas, and the fact that you all are creating a forum for us to reach out from our homes into their homes and be able to maybe contribute a little bit for a healthier diet. And yes, we are preparing a chicken salad today, and I love chicken salad. You can do it so many ways. You can add crunchiness. I like crunchiness, so I like to have a lot of ingredients like pecans and celery and cucumber, and it's almost like a salad in and of itself. And then with chicken added, and then with healthy substitutes for mayonnaise also. So I'm very glad that I am been given this opportunity, and it looks like it's going to be some fun today.
All right, let's get started.
Okay, well, let's talk about a little bit about the ingredients. As I said, we are going to have a lot of crunchiness. We're going to have pecans, and I just buy the small packet of pecans. Okay. It's about 2 ounces. And then it has also, like I said, celery and cucumber. And some people may not like one of the ingredients, and they can always remove it. Some people just maybe don't like cucumber, and so they can just remove it, and it's not going to make that big of a difference. I like to buy my cucumbers already peeled because I just feel like I always feel like when I peel them that I lose too much of the skin. And some people like to leave the skin on too. And so I like them just the way they are. And then instead of mayonnaise, what I like to do is I like to substitute yogurt and sour cream. And both of them are very tasty, and you'd be surprised, how you don't miss the mayonnaise, because so many times you have a chicken salad and it's just so heavy, with that ingredient, and this is a great substitute. And it also has cheddar cheese. Some people, I like the sharp cheddar, but some people may not be a big fan of something so strong, and they can substitute it, or they can, again, remove it entirely. We have the chicken right now. I cooked it earlier, and right now it's in the refrigerator because it needs to be cooled off. And so at some point I'll bring it out and we'll just cut it. And that's another thing when we talk about chicken. Some people like very shredded chicken. Some people like it that process it chunky. And so I like it chunky.
Okay.
And so I usually cut it in bigger chunks. And I also use chicken thighs because I think they are a little bit juicier, but more flavor. And I cook it with the skin, but of course I remove the skin afterwards. And I just put a little bit of salt and pepper, and I boil it about 30 minutes. One thing people need to be very conscientious about is when they cook with chicken, that it has, you have to use a separate cutting board just for chicken. And you also have to cook it at a high temperature because it does have certain, bacteria. I don't know what it has, but it can lead to salmonella, I believe.
Yes, you have to cook it at least internally 160 degrees.
Yes, so I did know that, and the last thing you want is to have you or your guests that are susceptible, that already have a disease like diabetes, have something like that happen. And so I mentioned earlier, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, my mother is a diabetic. She was late onset. She got it, and she's very active and always a careful eater, but it's taken some training, you know, because she loves her tortillas and, you know, all our traditional tacos, tamales, and so we're having to retrain her a little bit on her eating habits, and it's very well controlled, thank God, and it hasn't complicated her life. But you know, we all have to be very cognizant, you know, because I lost a very young member of my family, my cousin Daniel, to diabetes because he did not watch his diet, and he died at a very young age. And so it's something that's touched my family, and it's why I'm so glad that I'm given this opportunity here today.
Well, we're very happy and grateful to have you. And I can't wait for us to get started.
Okay.
So let me get out of your way so that we can start.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and start getting the ingredients together, and then we'll mix them and have some fun here today.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Judge Hinojosa, that looked super easy. Right?
And normally, so it's ready, and as you can see, it came out. It has a beautiful coloring. Tiene muy bonita pinta, as they say in Spanish. And normally, I like to serve in pretty different plates. For example, I love Mexican dishes, so I have this Mexican plate, and I'm just going to serve up a little bit. Now, some people, just to add color, will put a little cayenne pepper on it. Mm-hmm. But again, that's up to you. To me, it just always just adds a little flair, you know. And so that's exactly what I do. And now I normally serve it to try to be health conscious. I try to serve it with things I find in the, you know, at H-E-B or at the grocery store. Sometimes I get it right and sometimes I don't. I love these tortillas, and they say that they're sun-dried tomato basil, all sound very well and good, and net carbs. And so that's what I based it on. But the nutritionist here gave me a little lesson, and I'd like for her to share it with you all so that you know exactly the kinds of things that we might fall victims to if we're not careful.
Yeah, you know, thank you so much for saying that, Judge Hinojosa. So, and it's not your fault, right? A lot of times, marketing, depending how different companies market, I see a lot this net carbs, and this one especially is very tempting. To your point, 0 net carbs, and you're like thinking, oh my God, I can eat a lot of them without any consequences or without it affecting my blood sugar.
Yes.
But this is very misleading. So I always encourage everybody not to go by what's in the front, but really go back to the label. And all the food labels are the same. And what you really want to focus in on, where it says total carbohydrates. And right there, how many grams of total carbohydrates does it say?
Well, I have to put on my glasses, but I think it says 7.
7, yes. And so one tortilla has 7 grams of carbs. And so if you, like, let's say you're gonna eat maybe 5, thinking, oh, well, it's not gonna do anything. But if we multiply 7 times 5, that's already 35 grams. And, you know, let's say you even eat 10. So that's 70 grams. And our limit for carb intake for a meal is usually about 30. So you're looking at, even though it says 0, and the way that they calculate it, it's kind of tricky. They say, well, this has 7 grams of carbs and it has 7 grams of fiber. So if you subtract 7 from 7, that's 0. And even though it's a really great choice, this over tortillas any day, absolutely 1,000%. But because it has fiber, but that doesn't mean that you can eat as much as you want just because it says 0. It does have 7 per tortilla, so you would be limited to around 4.
Well, yes, and I think it's a great lesson. I'm glad that you educated me, because I know that this is required by the government, so this has to be accurate.
They're all standard. All the food labels are standard. They're all going to be the same.
Yeah, and they're easy to read, and so lesson learned, because I love these things, and I just put them in the oven and I make them toasty and I eat them like chips, and very good lesson. So I will be very cognizant of that. I appreciate it. I'm very fortunate that I don't suffer from diabetes, but hey, we all get to a certain age. My mother, like I said earlier, had late onset. She didn't get it till I believe she was in her late 60s or 70s. And so it's always a good lesson to learn.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a great option to have with our chicken salad. I mean, and you can also maybe include some salad, some vegetables, maybe an avocado, which has a lot of those heart-healthy fats.
Yes.
Great recipe. It looks delicious, very colorful, perfect for the summer. I can't wait to try it.
Oh, well, good. Well, I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I was given this opportunity to do this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.